Right, hello lads and lasses, welcome back to Boys Down Under, where today we got through the match and that's really all we had to do. You know, we made it so much more difficult for ourselves than we had to in true Celtic fashion, but that's the beauty of it, I guess. Before we go any further though, please remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to help support the channel grow, and I'll be forever appreciative of you guys if you did that. But without further ado, let's get into it. So while we have Tom Rogic at the club, who seems to have a vendetta against Motherwell, it appears Jota has joined the Mafia as well and placed one on Aberdeen, and he is certainly living up to it. But you know what? It is good old Celtic. Like I said, honestly, we always make it difficult for ourselves, but I'm going to adopt a saying from one of our subscribers, Spread the Love 77. Watching Celtic is a wonderful stress. And the game started all birds and whistles. It was just as you would expect from any Celtic game this season. We were getting pressed, typically quite hard for the first 10 minutes or so. You know, Aberdeen had a lot of energy, fair play to them. And Celtic were getting some good possession. We were also giving away possession quite cheaply, and that's something you expect in the first 10 minutes or so when the opposition are really trying to push for that early goal. But then we were getting into the prime Celtic scoring time between the 15th minute and half time. And right on cue, a very dangerous Matt O'Reilly crosses in, forces an error from the goalkeeper and Calvin Ramsey, who could not decide on who wanted to take the ball away from danger. Jota was there, albeit he probably did not know as much of it as people watching on TV did. But he kneed the ball in, put us 1-0 up, and the chance started happening at Pittodrie. Jota on the wing was being absolutely belted. Then, not even 5 minutes later, Matt O'Reilly pops up again, claiming a loose ball off the back of a poor clearance from Aberdeen. He goes to half volley it. He clips the back heel of one of the defenders who was standing in no man's land, keeps the keeper rooted to the spot, and Celtic were 2-0 up. And it all, like I said, all seemed birds and whistles. You know, it was just good old Celtic. We were 2-0 up, 20 minutes to go. You expected them to, you know, get maybe a third, get maybe a fourth, and then half-time would come around, see out the rest of the game. That was just how the match was shaping up to be. But we never got that third and crucial goal, so we went into half-time 2-0 up. And this is where Stephen Glass made a very crucial change. He brought on Funzo, where is it? He brought on, what's his name? I've absolutely lost it. Funzo Ojo, that is it. He brought on Funzo Ojo, who was absolutely crucial to Aberdeen bringing back this game. And look, it appeared Celtic would lead out a 2-0 win with halftime coming back, you know, 5 minutes in. Nothing really seemed to be happening. It was just sort of straightforward football. But a training drill free kick, one that you could just tell had been worked and worked and worked to perfection, half the deficit with over 30 minutes to play. Then the crowd got into it, and that was when Aberdeen really started getting the momentum, you know, and they did not need long to really capitalise on it. Celtic conceded from another set piece, yet again assisted by Funzo Ojo, and such a cracking name, Funzo Ojo. I love that name. Anyways, it was scored by Lewis Ferguson, who seriously has a problem with Celtic. I'm convinced of it. It must be from his Rangers academy days, because he really enjoys bagging one against Celtic. And you know what? It seemed like that was going to be it. It seemed like Aberdeen had gone back to 2-0. They were going to slow down the momentum because they had gotten what they needed out of this game, which was a draw. It would have been a great and ecstatic result for Aberdeen to knock off the league leaders. But our superstar from Portugal responded instantly with a cracking finish after bringing the ball up all by himself from the halfway line. Within 30 seconds of conceding, Celtic found themselves back ahead, and it was all thanks to Jota. It was an amazing finish, I have to say, and he was lapping up the support from the fans. You know, but the thing is, the match was still not over, and that was the issue, you know, because at any given time, Aberdeen could have equalised, and that could have been it for Celtic. But you know, there was a couple of moments the commentators were stupidly calling for a penalty soon after. You know, Jota had to make a great save to deny Lewis Ferguson again. We brought on subs to see the game out, which effectively they did so, not without a couple of hairy moments. However, we eventually got through it. We took all 3 points and got through what was turned out to be a much harder PORTUGAL match than I was expecting. But it was a game that could have so easily just gone in our favour, you know. We could have just gone 3-4-0 up and seen it like that, but obviously it didn't. Obviously, the Scottish footballing gods wanted us to have a very difficult match, and luckily, you know, it didn't turn out to be as bad as I was thinking it would shape up to be on the train. I had a sigh of relief. I'm sure every single Celtic fan out there had a great sigh of relief. And I'll be honest, it's a game we shouldn't lose, but it is a game that we are now very lucky to have gotten through, because playing at PORTUGAL is never easy. You know, it's one of the harder grounds to go to away in the league, and the fact we took all 3 points there, something a fellow Glaswegian team could not do, it says a lot about who should be on top of the ladder right now. But let's talk about what we can take away from this match. The set piece issue is still there. It's evident, it's clear, we all know it is. There's no shying away from it. When you concede 2 goals in a match, both from set pieces, it's an issue, because as we all know with Celtic right now, teams cannot score from open play. It is a serious, it's a very dominant side of the Celtic team. You know, teams struggle. They really struggle to score from open play, and they usually only do when there is a major mistake that occurs at the back. So when you give away opportunities like set pieces, opposition teams are going to take it, because they know these are the best opportunities they will get to score a goal and make a dent in this Celtic team. And, you know, to make matters even worse, when we don't have an aerial threat in there to combat this, like Christopher Jullien, it's really an issue and something that needs to be addressed. And whether that is to address it by, you know, just practicing on our defending from set pieces, or not putting ourselves in positions where we're going to concede from them. Because we've got to be realistic. Teams are going to get corners. Teams are going to get free kicks outside the box. It's a way of football, and something that we should not be letting teams try and, you know, let teams have that golden opportunity, because we're so good defensively from open play. But when it comes to set pieces, we are just shambolic. You know, no one tracked the run of Christian Ramirez. No one really put in a good enough challenge to Lewis Ferguson, albeit both the balls in were quality, but they should not have amounted to anything. It's an issue, but one I'm not going to dwell on, because we got the 3 points at the end of the day, but it's something that could certainly cost us later in the season, and something that should be addressed rightfully so. Now, secondly, Jota. Seriously, this kid is special. He is so special, and it's not just the fact that he can go out there, score a brace, and win us the match just like that. You know, the way he reacted after both goals shows how much they mean to him, and that reaction is what you want to see from Celtic players. You know, I'm sure the reactions were a combination of, you know, not having scored since his return from injury, and also opening the scoring and putting Celtic back ahead. I'm sure it's a combination of all those things. I'm sure it's not just predominantly scoring for Celtic, but the passion he puts on that field. He plays for the badge, and he loves the club. He knows what it means. He understands Celtic, and the fans love him for that. You know, we need João Pedro Neves Felipe we need to keep him at this club long term. You know, I'm reiterating it. The fans absolutely adore him. His teammates seem to adore him. You know, who wouldn't want to play with someone like that, who can just turn the game around within the blink of an eye? You know, we need to keep this team together, Michael Nicholson. I'm being serious, you know. We can't be affording to let these players... We can't pass on £6.5 million for Jota, honestly. And that goes for Cameron Carter-Vickers as well. I'm not going to ignore Cameron Carter-Vickers just because he is a defender. I think he is rock solid. I think he is incredible. He is built like a brick shithouse. However, when he defends better than Prime Maldini ever did. And look, third and finally, I mentioned it earlier. I mentioned it very briefly, but this Celtic team have that winning champions mentality. You know, no team is perfect. No team is going to win every single game in every single season. Not even Celtic's invincible side under Brendan Rodgers. There were a couple draws here and there. There are going to be slip-ups in this title race. That is something we have to accept. But this Celtic team have shown in recent times that they are mentally right now so superior than any other team. And they will not be letting any slip-ups happen as easily as is from 2 set pieces. You know, we crushed Aberdeen's hopes of finding a winner moment after they equalised the match. You know, it's the same quality we saw in the League Cup final when Hibs went 1-0 up. You know, within 3 kicks of the ball, we had equalised that match. It's a mentality that Ange has absolutely instilled into this team, and it's a mentality that keeps this Celtic team going. You know, it's a champion mentality, a winner's mentality, whatever you want to call it. This Celtic team have it. And I've completely forgotten to mention 2 completely crucial other matches. You know, Dundee United, we went down to 10 men. And yet, we still somehow managed to find the winner after doing so. With limited time available. Leo Labada, the superstar that night, he put us 1-0 up. We ended the match 1-0 up in the 91st minute. It was crucial. You know, you look back to the Ross County match, we scored a last-minute winner. Tony Ralston, the brickie, he was absolutely limbs then. We have that winning mentality. We have that never say never mentality, never die, never say die. No matter what it takes, we always find ourselves and manage to get a result and manage to, you know, overcome the adversaries faced on the football field, and that's all you want from a football team. You don't want them to fold at the first chance. You know, we could have easily, you know, settled for a draw tonight. We could have easily folded against Hibs when going 1-0 down. Our heads could have dropped. We could have settled for a draw against Dundee United, but that's not what Ange brings to this team. Ange has brought to this team a mentality that is so crucial to have when you're in a title race, and so crucial to have when you're leading that title race, because we shall not be moved. But that is all from me. So remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, leave in the comments below your man of the match. Mine, it's obvious, it's Jota. It has to be Jota. I'd like to see your takes. I'd like to see if anyone thinks Jota shouldn't be a man of the match, because it'd be interesting to see what you think of that. But that is all from me. So until next time, hail, hail.